Since my last Fortune's Weed video, there's been a steady flow of information coming out about the game, especially its characters. And most recently, Nintendo put out a direct solely focused on Fire Emblem, and now the floodgates have opened and there's a ton of information to cover. But before we get to it, a huge shout out to Saren's Forest for always being a reliable source of translated Fire Emblem information. The trailer opens in what we now know is 5 years in the future. In the beginning of the game, a dragon woman is holding a baby and talking about the rebirth of their demon god, Balor. We get a closer look at the game's central protagonist, Eshmel, which is your own customizable avatar, summoned by Sothis' song, the same song she taught her daughter in Three Houses.
I see that my song has finally reached your ears.
Their mission is to go back in time using the power of the goddess Fortuna to save the heroes which can help you defeat Balor. Or not. Apparently that choice is completely up to you. If you want to take on the demon god alone, you can do that. It's a very Breath of the Wild style gameplay structure, though I wonder if the final boss is even possible to defeat alone. You can access each character's route from these various obelisks, the Tormentors. Kai's is called the Fox Obelisk, and his story is called Hell's Eye. Dietrich's is called the Lion Obelisk, and his story is called the Ravishing Shadow. Theodora's is called the Wolf Obelisk, and her story is called Breaker of Armies. And Lita's is called the Eagle Obelisk, and her story is called Siren of the Sixth String. That name is cool, that's my favorite. We get some overhead shots of the city Daxian, and I gotta say, it's pretty nice to see 3D fruit in Fire Emblem. The statue we see here is the first king of Dagda. His name is Dagda, and I think he might have killed some people. The trailer reveals that the Divine Sovereign's name is Solel. Good, because I was really getting tired of typing out the words Divine Sovereign in my scripts. He's the god of the sun. He's wise and rational, and considered by many as a good leader. He rules over the land of Dagda, where the gods walk among mortals. He announces the heroic games and offers one wish to the victor. At some point in the story, he'll be sneaking around and will ask you for help. We can see in this screenshot here that he'll even be one of our allies in one mission. But speaking of this screenshot, let's address the elephant in the room. It's Anna riding an elephant. We see some quick shots of these two guys who are known as the twin jewels of Arago. The green one's name is Creek and the red one's name is Nathan. I can see why they call themselves the twin jewels of Arago. Has a much better ring to it than Creek and Nathan. Creek is cynical and treats everything with a skeptical attitude. He likes green armor, beautiful women, and researching military strategies. Nathan is deeply loyal and straightforward. He likes red armor, being loyal, and enjoys all forms of battle training. Next, we see a shot of a character named Talamoon, or at least that's his translated name. I don't think we've seen his officially localized name yet. He's a merchant whose sense of curiosity lands him in hot water more than he would like. Next is a shot of Orchelle. She's a priestess who's a bit out of touch with the world, but she has a pure heart and is kind to everyone. After that is a shot of Bertrand. Many refer to him as the white-maned demon. Many fear him for his overwhelming strength, but deep within, he's a noble warrior who fights for freedom. Also, he may or may not have killed Lita's father. We get to see Kai's hometown Ribera, as well as a shot of his father, whose name is Castor. He's being arrested, but what exactly his crime is still unknown, though apparently the crime took place before Kai was born. Maybe the crime is him being a living father for a Fire Emblem protagonist? As for this guy in the gold armor, we still don't know his name, but we can see him at the front door of this house. This is most likely Kai's house, and he's there to arrest Castor. This guy was also in the previous trailer next to this woman, who we now know as the goddess Aurora. Some have theorized that Aurora could be Kai's mother, and that could also be the crime that Castor is being arrested for. Aurora and Kai share the same eye color as well as the same crest, the crest of Aben. The next few shots show Kai talking to his childhood friends, Peter and Tiala, who we used to refer to as Glasses Girl. Peter is really good with a bow. He enjoys his mother's cooking, as well as something called Genji fruits. His interests are eating and watching clouds. His portrait has him holding a piece of candy, so I guess he'll always just be holding a piece of candy. Fighting in the tournament? Piece of candy. A scene with a character death? piece of candy. Fighting the demon god, piece of candy. Tiala loves to read. Her grandfather is a former tactician, and she's inherited his unique military talent. They all three eventually arrive in Daxian. Tiala falls and Kai jumps down to save her and lands in the street, where he's almost executed just for getting in Theodora's way. Dietrich is on his ship having a conversation with one of the merchants. The merchant recognizes Dietrich's sword, the Answerer, and goes on to talk about how it was wielded by the beautiful mage swordswoman, Lamine, of the 10 Elites, and that it cut down a 2,000-year-old tree in a single strike. Since the Tales of the 10 Elites is already a legend that has been passed on to the general public, that would make me assume the Battle of the Red Canyon has already happened, meaning that Sothis is already dead. But when Sothis is dead, her soul assumes a weakened, childlike state. So wouldn't that mean that Three Houses has already happened and her soul has grown stronger and has taken on a more adult-like form? The mere existence of Dietrich's relic weapon would suggest that Sothis is very much dead, because wasn't Sothis the first relic weapon? I'm not entirely sure. Fodlan lore is about as deep as a deep dish pizza. Moving on. Shortly after, Dietrich's ship was attacked by a giant sea monster, and he washed up on the shore of Dagda. He goes around fighting bandits, saving Fabio in the process, and a giant sea monster, which might have saved Esmeralda because she was about to be offered to a sea monster as a sacrifice. Dietrich later hears about the heroic games, and he's very interested. Dietrich doesn't care about the prize of winning the games. To him, the prize is fighting a bunch of powerful opponents. Later in the trailer, Dietrich is struggling while fighting a powerful beast. We see some kind of darkness enveloping him. He might have some inner dark power we aren't aware of yet. Fabio is a missionary from the Church of Seros, and yes, that means he comes from Fodlan. He often looks down on others and calls them beasts unless he finds that person intelligent. Wow. Kinda sounds like a dick. He and Dietrich come from the same hometown, but they did not know each other prior to their meeting. Esmeralda comes from a fishing village on the Dagdan coast. She's wild and surprisingly superhumanly strong despite her appearance. She likes handsome men, harpooning, and fishing gear maintenance. And these people gotta pick up some different hobbies. We learn here in the direct that Theodora's father was slain by an assassin, the same assassin that took her right arm. In this scene, you can see Theodora speaking to a figure on a golden throne named Mahadu. She asks for power, and the figure falls apart, leaving nothing behind but a prosthetic arm, which imbues her with some kind of golden power. We know it grants her a ton of strength, seeing as she can tear a freaking chunk out of the earth and throw it at a guy. We learn that Theodora's country of Seramis worships the goddess Euphaz, the keeper of death and night. There's a mural depicting sacrifice. She may wish to free her nation from such needless sacrifice, as well as the conflict her country has with Massa. We see her preparing for some kind of battle, and this might be the battle we saw in the first trailer. In this extended scene of that battle, we see that she was fighting the twin jewels of Arago, Creek and Nathan. As Theodora arrives in Daxian, we see her two retainers behind her, Tobias and Bonaventure. Tobias is a general known for his strength and defense. He refers to Theodora as young lady. He has served the kingdom of Seramis for many years, even while Theodora's father was still alive. He's bad at thinking and remembering names, but he likes alcohol, fighting, singing, and socializing. You could probably be better at socializing if you can remember people's names. I mean, I'm pretty bad at that myself. There's a support conversation of him with a character named Lysander, and they're both moving wine barrels. Later, Tobias wants to take one of the barrels home, saying he plans to drink it all in a single night. Lysander is a knight who excels at using his speed in battle, easily closing the distance between him and his foe while riding a battle zebra. He likes skygazing and dining with women. His interests are crafting throwing sticks and going on long rides, probably on his zebra. Can't get over how cool that is. Bonaventure is Theodora's right-hand man. In Seramis, writing is forbidden, so he records all of Seramis' history and wisdom in his memory. He likes memorizing knowledge, philosophical debates, and reciting poetry. We learn here that Lita isn't just out for revenge against a single man, but she has an entire hit list of people she wants to take down. She wants to take them out, make them sleep with the fishes. Lita is on a warpath, eliminating those on her hit list one by one. Eventually, she bumps into Bakar, Sirocco, and Mu. Bakar, also known as the Demon Bear, is a veteran warrior who served Lita's father, Guillermo, for many years. His homeland was named Bafos, but I couldn't find that anywhere on the map of Dagda, so it might not be in Dagda. He met her father in Daxian. Guillermo was a legal officer of the capital at the time, and he challenged him to a duel to test his strength. Guillermo gave him a thorough thrashing, but reached out his hand to help him off the ground afterwards. This small act of kindness made Bakar forever loyal to Guillermo, and now he watches after his daughter Lita. He calls her Milady a lot out of habit. He likes loyalty, mentoring promising young people, and imagining Lita's happiness. Sirocco is a mysterious bard who calls himself the Whimsical Wind. He's flirtatious, hitting on every beautiful woman he sees, but he's also well-educated and very perceptive. Mu is a young girl who ran away from her home in search of her missing mother. She likes her mom and dad, and sweets. Her mother might be Michaela based off their similar appearance, but that would definitely be a problem because Michaela is on Dietrich's team in the heroic games, meaning they might fight each other. Michaela was once so powerful she was known as Iron-Blooded Michaela. She came to Dagzian to fight and earn money to support her daughter. Though if Mu is her daughter and is looking for her, then perhaps Michaela didn't want her daughter to know how she was earning her money and left without much explanation. We later see Lita fighting Bertrand, and it's not going too well for her. She summons these orbs of dark energy. As for what they do, we'll have to wait and see. Shout out to Zophian Saint 273 for finding this. The axe that Bertrand is using here looks exactly like Sothis' axe in her artwork. There might be more to Bertrand than meets the eye. In the future, we see some kind of corrupted version of Talamoon, or maybe it's just someone that looks like Talamoon. Regardless, they're attacking Eshmel and his group. Here we can see Anatolia using her magic gun, which is called the Salamander. Yep, we got guns now in Fire Emblem. It's a new type of weapon which is in the Gauntlet category. Gauntlet units finally have a ranged option, but that's not the only new Gauntlet in town. Now they have a Dodge Gauntlet, which, true to their name, increases your avoidance. Gauntlet units are going to be a force to be reckoned with in this game. I mean, they already were in past games, like they could attack like up to 4 times, it was crazy, but now they can attack you from a distance with a literal gun, and now it's harder to hit them, so that's great. Anatolia herself is known by many as the Mysterious Bride, due to her appearance, though many online, myself included, have now dubbed her the Nun with a Gun. She trusts logic more than her own emotions, but she is also, ironically, a fortune teller. Shout out to Grey Wolfhawk for pointing this out, but in a few scenes we've seen Dietrich fighting a group called the Bride's Companions, who also share the same banner as Anatolia, which is why her and Dietrich were fighting in the first trailer. Anatolia can apparently also use some kind of crystal magic. Would love to see how that works in gameplay if that's an option. Let's talk about the Goddess of Fate, Fortuna. You can actually find a statue of her in Fire Emblem Three Houses in Abyss.
Just occurred to me, but you used to live in Abyss, right? Did you ever see a pagan altar or statue down there?
Ah, you mean that big hunk of metal with the giant wings? Yeah, it's pretty hard to miss.
So that pagan statue, it's actually of a Dagdan deity.
No kidding. You're from Dagda, right?
Yes. I think it was the god of fate. I always wondered how it ended up there.
She possesses the crest of Gonril, which is the same crest Hilda possessed in Three Houses. She grants Eshmel her abilities of time travel to save the 4 heroes of the past from their fate so they can save the future. Despite how critical her role is though, she has a rather laid-back and whimsical personality. She and Sothis share the same English voice actor, Cassandra Lee Morris, and I believe this is for a special reason. In Three Houses, Sothis had time-traveling powers, but Fortuna might be a part of Sothis that she cast away for whatever reason. So the reason they might have the same voice actor is because they're both part of the same person. In the scene where the corrupted Talamoon attacks Eshmel and his 2 friends, Fortuna stops time and saves them. Eshmel's 2 friends are Troy, and the other's name roughly translates to Kooka. Kauka? Troy is from the ruined future of Dagda. She also uses a magic assault rifle. Coca was there when Eshmel first descended from the sky. Throughout the trailer we see 2 birds, this one and this one. This one is your character, Eshmel, and this one on Eshmel's shoulder is Fortuna. Now the direct showed us a lot of quick glimpses of a boatload of characters, so we'll go ahead and rapid fire through them. This guy is Guzran, this is Young Jay, Io, who is definitely somehow related to Shamir, Noctula, Sophia, Nadine, Kurok, Benditz, Pepe, who is definitely somehow related to Petra, Diego, Neza, Dante, Goliath, Sedith, my boy Sedith. I knew it was him, I called it. But now my only question is, where is Flayn? Many are theorizing that Nene might be an older Flayn in disguise. Either that, or she might be Flayn's mother. We can't see her ears, so that's pretty fishy. Now let's talk about some of the other gods in Dagda. In town, if you help take care of the temples, the gods will grant you their blessings. Aurora halves damage from various sources, so that's really good. As well as neutralizing a foe's underworld boon, like debuffing an enemy that will be fighting in the underworld, might be really useful. Smiranos? This guy has the crest of Magul, which, nobody possesses in 3 houses. Huh. His level 1, 2, and 3 buffs respectively include for 1 turn, plus 50 hit for magical attacks, plus 1 range for magic attacks, that's very good, and plus 5 to magic. Mars possesses the crest of Daphne, the same crest Ingrid possesses in 3 houses. His level 1, 2, and 3 buffs respectively include for 1 turn, plus 50 hit for physical attacks, restore some HP when defeating a foe, that's good, and plus 5 strength, that's good. Those are all pretty good. Now, there's still a bunch of characters who haven't been named. This roster is enormous. I mean, I really want to know what this blonde girl's all about. She looks awesome. But let's move on. Let's talk about some of the new features that we can do around the city of Daxian. You can watch other participants' matches and all your allies will gain XP from it. You can go shopping for weapons and tools or upgrade them with materials, which all looks pretty straightforward. You can take exams to change a unit's class. From here, we can see Warrior, Sniper, Forest Knight, that sounds cool, Dreadnought, which Dietrich looks a little silly in that armor, Bardinger, Ovat, Bishop, and Shido. I'm really hoping we can still walk around Daxian in our battle armor, the armor unique to our class. We couldn't do that in 3 houses, so I'm really hoping we can do that here. We can receive quests and complete them within their deadlines for various rewards. We can eat at inns, which increases our support conversations with various characters, as well as automate certain activities. This might be a feature I probably won't use. I don't know, something tells me I'll get better gains from doing everything manually. Apparently we'll unlock all kinds of facilities as we progress through the game, like a bathhouse and a theater? Question mark? That's a theater, right? You can visit Eshmel in his bird form to hop between timelines to play the other routes in the game, which is great because now you can just do everything from a single save file. Now, of course, we already knew about the overworld map and its dungeons, but we've learned some new stuff. When exploring the map, each hero has their own unique abilities. Since Kai is a country boy, he can tame animals. Since Dietrich is always looking for a fight, he can scan for nearby enemies. Since Theodora is a queen, she can recruit soldiers in towns to use for battle, like battalions in 3 houses, or send them out to gather supplies. And since Lita is a dancer, she can perform various shows and receive large amounts of money and supplies. So in her playthrough, you'll probably never have to worry about cash. As for dungeons, you can run around and collect materials and treasure. But when you run into enemies, it becomes a straight up traditional turn-based RPG, like Final Fantasy X turn-based, in Fire Emblem. This is kind of blowing my mind. In my opinion, this is a great change to dungeons, because while I did enjoy the dungeons in Shadows of Valentia, having to do a full-on grid-based skirmish every time I ran into an enemy really tanked the pacing for me. And Fortune's Weave already has skirmishes out in the open world, so I think it's a nice change of pace for the player when they go to visit a dungeon. One thing I forgot to cover earlier in the Direct was that you can see what support bonuses you're receiving from nearby allies front and center in the top left corner, which is a nice quality of life feature. Speaking of quality of life features, I know, I'm the master of segues, for the first time ever in Fire Emblem history, we can now see character stat growths. The only way we've ever known about character stat growths was from data miners. It's always been a resource you've had to access outside the game, but now it's inside the game, and that's super helpful. I mean, for the most part, you are still at the mercy of RNG, but for anyone who wants to manipulate that RNG, this is just a nice feature to have in the game. Is that everything? Not quite. Let me rapid fire through some things I missed. We're getting a manga set before the events of the game on September 4th. That's gonna be cool. This is Olympia. She's a singer and priestess who is skilled in white magic. She likes song, dance, playing instruments, writing songs. I dropped my water bottle. She likes attracting attention, caring for her instruments, and studying music and dance. This is Lillian. She's an archer. She likes gold coins, gemstones, older men, being frugal. What does that mean? I have to Google frugal. Google frugal. Just means being careful with money and resources to avoid waste. Okay, that's me too. I'm frugal. I think everybody should be frugal. And she also likes hunting. This is Oltand. We saw her in the other trailers. She's a fiercely kind young woman who is proficient in battling foes as well as healing allies. She likes looking after others, her family, housekeeping, love stories, saving money, and wandering around marketplaces. Okay, as of the writing of this script, I'm pretty sure that's all the information available right now on Fortune's Weave. But if I missed anything or got anything wrong, be sure to let me know in the comments. Engagement helps the video a ton. Also, tell me who's your favorite character so far. So far, mine's the blonde knight girl. I don't even know what her personality is or what her name is, but she just looks cool. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you all have a great day.